Hi friends, it is Courtney. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome. If you are new here, my name is Courtney. I am an aspiring indie author. I am also a Gen X stay-at-home mom and grandmother. That's kind of my full-time thing. um, and welcome to 2024. I have not been here for a minute and I thought I would just do a quick update instead of like launching into videos. Like I haven't been missing since November on this channel. So November, I started with all of the intention of doing NaNoWriMo, finishing the book that I was working on. Things were going well. The words were coming, everything was flowing, everything was working well. Then sort of the first little hiccup was everything that went down with NaNoWriMo and the message boards and like all of that. I hadn't really been following it very closely just because I have not been on TikTok for a long time. It is really just like a time suck for me. So I only allow myself to go on TikTok when I have time to waste. Um, and so I hadn't really been paying attention to really anything going on in terms of like the book world. And I had a couple of friends send me some links to some TikToks that kind of broke everything down. I'm not going to go into it in very much detail, but just suffice it to say it was disappointing and gross and uh, kind of put a little bit of a gray cloud over the whole experience, although at that point I was just going to keep writing and doing my thing because I had plans for this year, which I'll get into a minute. Um, and yeah, so I was just going to keep writing and doing my thing. So I wrote for a couple of days after that, and then on November 16th, when I was driving my son to school, our car was rear-ended by another car, which was so November 16th, when I was driving my son to school, my car was rear-ended by another driver, which was a little bit. Oh, hi. Does my breath smell like coffee? Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? Okay. Okay. Can you sit down? Can you lay down? Lay down. Lay down. Can you sit? Can you lay down? Grace. Um so yeah, it was a little bit traumatic and definitely like threw me off of the groove that I was establishing. I thankfully like no one was seriously injured other than my car. Um, but I was in a significant amount of pain for about a week. Um, and then it was, I sort of blinked and it was Thanksgiving and the end of November. So I just at that point decided to kind of take a break. This was the first holiday with both of my parents being gone. Oh, okay. And I was not really prepared. I was not really prepared for like all of all of the emotions. Um, so that not that I didn't expect to feel anything, and I certainly know that grief is not linear and it can kind of flow like that. But it just hit me a lot harder than I was anticipating. And so it really just took everything that I had to kind of get through the holidays. We have a younger child. I have, if you're new here, I have 5 kids. 4 of them are adults. One of them lives out of state. One of the adult kids lives out of state. And my youngest is 9. So our kids range in age from 32 to 9. Um, and so, he's still, the young one still enjoys Christmas and Santa and all of that. So I needed to try to kind of pull myself out of a funk for him. Um, but that really took all of the energy that I had. So I just really kind of gave myself time during December to really just feel what I was feeling and kind of sit with some things and try to enjoy the holidays. And so that sort of brings us to January, and it still has been kind of hectic. Obviously, my son was on holiday break. They went back on the 4th, I think. Um, so then it was just sort of adjusting. I also have I think he is now 16 months. I have a 16-month-old grandson that I keep 4 days a week for my daughter while she works. And he, like, his schedule is changing a little bit. And so the time that I had during the day when I have him, I suddenly didn't have anymore because his nap schedule has changed. And then my other son, who is 20, he just turned 26, I think, on the 2nd. Um, he moved back home at the end of December to, like, his lease was up on his apartment. He couldn't really find anything that he liked in his, um, like, price range. He didn't really want to have to go the route of a roommate, so he's back home saving some money and looking for a place to live, which is fine. We love having the kids back whenever they come to visit. I'm enjoying him being home. They're always my babies and I always want them home. Um, but it means that there's a little bit more chaos in our house than usual. So finding time to film, finding time to write, finding time to edit, both writing and videos, has been a little bit challenging, which is what has taken me so long to kind of get back into the groove of YouTube. But I am here filming this video. Let's talk about goals for 2024. So my first goal is to finish and publish the book that I started working on in November. Um, my goal is to have it finished and to beta readers by the end of January, who will have their suggestions back to me by the middle of February, to have all of my edits completed by the end of February, and to the editor by the beginning of March, who has said to me that she can have it back to me by mid-March, and I'm hoping to publish it the first week of April. It is the first book in a 3-book series. They're interconnected but standalones. I am a contemporary romance author, so these are romance books featuring main characters who are my age, which is, well, I'm 50, but the characters range in age from 40 to mid 50. Um, Out there trying to find relationships that are healthy and that they want to be in at this point in their life and all of that. So, the first book published at the beginning of April, the second book published at the end of July. That book actually is already written. It's the first book that I wrote in the series, but I feel like it's stronger as the second book in the series. And then the last book published in October. And then kind of take a breather through the holidays, November and December, and back to publishing in January 2025, which sounds strange to say. So that's what my plans are for publishing. Still want to take you along on the journey with vlogs and whatnot. I'm hoping to post one video a week here on YouTube, most likely on Thursday, because I don't have my grandson on Wednesday, which means that I can devote Wednesdays to editing or catching up if I need to. I'm still working on a writing schedule that works for me. I'm playing around with the thing that's kind of troubling me right now is that I find I'm not a morning person. However, I am more productive in the morning, which I don't quite understand, but this is what I found to be true. So I tend to wake up at 5 o'clock, between 5 and 5:15, to get my workout in, because that is something that I really want to dedicate time and energy to this year, is like my health and fitness. Um, but I need to, like, my son wakes up at 7 o'clock to get ready for school, and we leave the house at about 7:50. His school starts a little bit after 8. It's not that far from our house, so we leave around 10 minutes to 8 to drop him off. I get home around 8:30. My grandson gets dropped off around 10. So I usually use that chunk of my morning between 8:30 and 10 to come home, have my coffee, have my breakfast, do a few things around the house before my grandson gets here. He gets picked up around 4:45. And then it's sort of into like dinner mode, homework. We have a few after school activities now. My son is a Cub Scout, and my husband's like the leader of their den, and I've become kind of like the co-leader, although I'm still like waiting for my official sign off on the paperwork. But one thing I did not know about Cub Scouts, which you may not know about Cub Scouts, is that they allow girls in their troop, which is amazing. But if there are girls in your den, then you need to have a woman as co-leader. And so there's a little girl who is in their den, which means that I need to go to meetings as well. So I was using, their meetings are on Tuesday night. I was using that time. They're usually gone for about 2 hours as time for writing, but now I'm sometimes headed to the meetings with them. Um, and then my son also is working on the play at their school for spring. So we have like a few things that are taking up time outside the house. And there's like my regular do things around the house, fix dinner, all of that kind of stuff. And we've also been like juggling the one car thing because we couldn't get my car in the shop until just this past week, and it's just been a mess. So I just, at the end of the day, I don't have a lot of energy, which is why I like to get my workouts done in the morning because it's easier to talk myself out of it at night. Um, but it's like, okay, I'm waking up early to work out and kind of ease myself into the day, but how much earlier do I need to wake up if I also want to write in the morning? Because I feel like I'm just so like drained at the end of the day that I'm not doing my best work. So I'm still working on like trying to put together a schedule that really works for me to be able to do all the things that I need to do. Hopefully my workouts will help me with that. I've been working out steadily since December 1st. I joined the cult of Peloton. So I got a Peloton for Christmas, but I got it early. So I've been working out about 4 times a week since I got it. Um, so yeah, I'm hoping that it will just make me improve my overall health, which will give me more energy to do things. So that is kind of the update of where I am. Hopefully, you want to follow along on this journey to self publishing. If you're interested in any of that, be sure to give this video a like and a subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.